Hello, welcome to, this is Philip Cargom, this is Tea with the Druid, and a very warm welcome to you. I've just been through a nightmare scenario. I really felt like a big cup of tea to take with me into this broadcast. And just before we went on air, I spilled the entire pint mug of tea all over my trousers. Luckily, it didn't burn me for some reason, and it just went everywhere. So I'm feeling frazzled, but happy to be with you. So good morning from New Zealand. Blessed Alban Elfed, everyone. Good evening from Finland. Hello from Aberdeenshire. Good evening from Germany, from Paris, from South Wales, from Auckland, somebody else in New Zealand. Great. Lovely to see you. Great to see you. Hello from Switzerland and from London, where it's not currently raining. There's been lots of rain in England. Wanganui again in New Zealand. That's great. Southern Spain, Bayside, California, Chicago. Great to see everyone. Good. Okay. So a very soggy Oxfordshire, an empty cup with a Druid. Yes, exactly, Daniel. So let's, as we all arrive, say how you're feeling. Maybe don't even tune in. Don't even bother to tune in. I don't need to tune in to say how I'm feeling. I'm feeling frazzled, having dropped this cup of coffee all over myself. Just say how you're feeling. And warm wishes from Lapland and from reigning Bromley. Ontario, Canada. Just tune in if you need to, or if you have immediate access to how you're feeling, just type it in. Moon is feeling chilled, content, recovering and licking my wounds, relaxed and calm, slightly wary, very relaxed, and remembering my last, whoops, it's gone, being careful with my cup of tea. Yes, be careful, please. Feeling calm, uncertain, fed up with 2 weeks of, oh gosh, it's going so fast, feeling lazy. First day feeling back to normal after a head cold. Found my cats, have a philosophical mood, a bit Aries. Feeling better this week, last week was rough. Happy to have solved a problem. Creative, inspired from Knockhold. Exhausted, calm and peaceful, calm. Excited, learning a new dimension in the tarot. Feeling content and grateful, content with the autumn, balanced. And Helen is saying hello from Brisbane. Recovering from COVID, yes, there's been quite a lot of COVID around at the moment, autumnish. That special feeling that autumn brings. Anxious but happy to be here, healthier, peaceful, grateful, relaxed, waiting for the rain for my plants. So, Naomi is warmed by a naughty cat, calm and happy, fidgety. Good. So we're all feeling different things, and we all recognize, I guess, the feelings that everybody else is having too. And love and light from Costa Rica. Hello to Costa Rica. Such a beautiful country. James feeling blessed. Pete looking forward to cool days ahead. So here we are at the time of the autumn equinox. And just 6 weeks ago, this is in the northern hemisphere, of course. For those of you in the southern hemisphere, for those of you in New Zealand, for instance, it's all turned around. But there are all these interesting relationships between the festivals. So I'm going to talk from a northern hemisphere perspective since I'm here. And this is a time where we've spent the last 6 weeks in this harvest time. Really important, I think, to see the festivals not as just one discrete moment or time, but as part of a sort of wave, like looking at it like a kind of ocean of energy. So this big wave that's bringing us towards the dark half of the year in the northern hemisphere. Within this wave, we're coming to this part of that wave, which is to do with the harvest, with reaping, coming towards the west in the Druid circle. Time of gratitude. About 6 weeks ago, the first harvest begins. now the autumn equinox symbolizes the second or the last harvest. So we've got a sort of 6-week harvest time, a very good time to start settling down and moving more inward. In a little bit, I'll read for you during our meditation a section of text which talks about this time for turning within. And what's beautiful about this way of understanding life is the connection between introspection, between turning within, between the inner life and the concept of harvest, so that you're not being asked to go into the lean time. You're not being asked to strip away everything and to sit in your interior world or to explore the inner world with no fat on you. And what I mean by no fat on you is without lots of nourishment, so that you can survive the dark time. That's the analogy I was using. So it's really interesting, this, isn't it? That you are going in, or we are all, or certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, stepping into this time of the dark half of the year, and the time when we naturally turn inwards to studies and to our self-development. We're richly supplied by all that we've garnered over the last 6 weeks, which is the result of all the work we've done in our previous life, in our previous lives, in the previous year. So when we came out of our cave in the spring, this time, the other side of the year, sort of spring equinox or Imbolc really, and started to come out, go into the world, to plant our seeds, to get involved in projects, to start being interested in the outer world and traveling with that great wave of energy towards the summer solstice, getting engaged, interacting, meeting with people, going out there. We then start to garner and gather in the richness of that harvest of promise. And we then end up in the autumn and ready to go into Samhain, which is a continuation of that harvest. If you think about it, that dropping of the leaves, that letting go of attachments. And Samhain, which is going to happen in about 6 weeks' time, is that time where we completely let go. And of course, symbolically, it's the time when we let go of the physical body and we drop into the other world completely. And of course, that may well not be happening physically for us. It may be happening at a spiritual level, if you like, where we can be completely letting go, so that we can enter this rich, fertile darkness that is represented by the winter and the winter solstice. And nothing lasts, everything keeps moving, because at the winter solstice, at the dawn of the winter solstice, this ray of sun comes up, marking conception, fertilization, inspiration, the beginning of the new cycle, the beginning of the new year. So let's drop into a meditation now. Let's just go straight into an autumn equinox meditation. Just being aware of our surroundings now, sensing that here we are at this equinox time on this turning planet, sitting in front of our screens, wherever we are in the world. We see that we're a circle of people from all over the world, which is so lovely. And we're all in this circle together. And yet we're individually in front of our particular screen that we're looking at. But as we close our eyes, we might like to ask ourselves, first of all, how we know that we're in front of our screen. And that's because, of course, we've been there. We've been sitting there. We're still here. And we can sense the walls around us, the floor beneath us, and the ceiling above us. But even as we become aware of these realities, it's possible that they just start to fade away as we become aware of being in the sacred grove of the Druids, in this special magical clearing in the forest, close to nature, close to the earth, close to the trees and the sky. And you might like to take a deep breath in, hold for a moment, and then breathe out fully and deeply. Another breath in, hold for a moment, and then breathe out fully and deeply. Just allowing yourself to settle into this experience of being seated in this circle with a whole lot of friends and companions sitting around in this circle. It's a wonderful big crowd of us, about 250 of us all sitting around in this circle with a little fire burning in the center. And we sense how all of us have come from east and west, north and south, from all directions to be here together at this time of the equinox, this time of the balancing of night and day. And you just allow yourself to feel the earth beneath you, just to sense the good earth, to smell it, and to feel the energy of the earth. See if you can just open your subtle senses to tune into the quality of the earth, the quality of energy of the earth. You might be aware of a whole range of vibrations or energy tones. There's the strong, deep vibration of the rocks, of the soil, the little high notes. If it was music, there would be these deep bass tones coming from these heavy rocks. Some high notes coming from the crystals, the minerals. And then some interesting and unusual sounds coming from the creatures that are swishing through the earth. The worms traveling. Maybe there's a mole tunneling along. All sorts of creatures in the earth. And then the moisture, and you sense the moisture. Deep down, you may be even able to tune into some aquifers that are bringing a lot of water under the forest floor. And then, of course, you've got all the roots of the trees, all connected up with the mycelium, all singing together, communicating energy. And it's as if perhaps you can see the energy like little bright sparkles of light traveling along the roots, traveling up the roots as the roots draw up the moisture. And as you tune into the roots of the tree, you also tune in to the presence of these majestic trees around us, rooted deep in the earth, but with their trunks soaring upwards. You sense the protection and the power of the trees. And this time you tune into the consciousness of the trees, the energy of the trees. And again, this might be multi-layered. Different trees might be emanating different vibrations, different tones. Again, if this was music, it would be like being in a great choir. Deep bass notes perhaps coming from the older trees. Specific tones coming from the pines, different ones coming from the smaller trees, the rowans and the hazels. Bathed in a sea of energy and of tree music, your consciousness looks up to the sky. You sense the open space of the sky above you, and you breathe in the energy of the sky, feeling its vitality flowing into you. The energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And at this time of equal day and night, I'm going to read to you, in the central part of Druid ceremonies sometimes is a teaching part. It's a part where somebody will stand up and read a poem or tell a story or read a text. And then we, sitting around in the circle, can just soak in the words and allow them to sink in deep. And we can allow our intellectual minds, our rational minds, to understand what's being said. And we can also let it sink a bit deeper and just be open to not necessarily trying to analyze every sentence, but just letting it sink in. The autumn equinox. At Lunasa, you started cutting down, sorting out, sifting through the debris to find the gold, keeping the memories and forgetting the pain. And now, 6 weeks later, it's the second harvest, the autumn equinox. Time to complete the task. The first harvest began with the fields, and now the maturing power of the sun has done its work in the trees and bushes. Hawthorn berries, apples and blackberries cry out to be picked, and the equinox arrives to tell us we need to get ready for the colder days, the longer nights. This festival is associated with the setting sun, with the maturing power of old age. It is tinged by that particular feeling that autumn brings, that delicate, melancholic nostalgia. The sun is lower now, its light mellower. The leaves are just starting to turn the trees red and gold. Even the air smells different, the scent of ripe fruit borne on autumn breezes. With these subtle changes comes a chance for deepening. If the spring equinox can be depicted by a figure standing facing eastwards, arms uplifted to the sunrise, then at autumn equinox we see that same figure seated in contemplation, gazing westwards out to sea as the sun sets over water. This is a time for recollection, for greeting oneself again, the self that was lost in the excitement of spring and the heat of summer, sowing seeds, realizing dreams. Now the autumn equinox encourages us to switch our focus from the external world to explore our interior terrain, our dreams and subconscious. In the Druid tradition, this festival is known as Alban Elfed, the light of water. This name honors the powerful role that the sea holds in our evolutionary story. This is where we came from and where we often long to go. It is deeply familiar to us. It is a place of solace that can also be a place of danger and death. Samhain, the time of death, is the next festival, and the dark winter lies ahead. Taking place a few days after the autumn equinox, Michaelmas is the feast of St. Michael, the patron saint of the sea and fishermen. For hundreds of years, celebrations took place at this time in the Hebridean Islands, with communities sharing a huge bannock and taking part in a horse procession sunwise around the village burial ground, signalling the end of the fishing season and the harvest. On the other side of the wheel, we began preparing for summer at Imbolc, and from then until the spring equinox, we prepared the ground and sowed our seeds for a new year. Now the autumn equinox marks the culmination of another season of preparation, the harvesting. These two periods of preparation on opposite sides of the wheel are perfectly balanced. It's time to tune into all that the word balance means to us. Harmony, equilibrium, stability, integration, but not stasis, because after this moment we will move into the dark half of the year. From tomorrow the nights grow shorter, but for now let's harvest these 6 weeks of gratitude. So feeling ourselves settling into this feeling of gratitude, of harvest, of gazing out to the west, the sun setting over the water, to the mellow feeling that autumn brings. We can turn our attention to the earth beneath us, and we can place the soles, the palms of our hands on the soil beneath us, on the earth beneath us. So we imagine our hands drifting down to the earth. And as our hands drift down to the earth, a few leaves dislodge themselves from the trees and flutter down too, red and golden in the setting sun. May this earth be blessed. May this land be blessed. May peace prevail on earth. Then we sense our hands drifting up as we take the hand to either side of us, so that we're seated in this circle now, this big circle holding hands together. May there be peace and love in this circle, in this sacred grove. May peace and love reign on earth. May the calm, the energy, the healing, the peace that we experience in this circle radiate outwards across the earth. May all our lives be blessed. May all life be blessed. You imagine squeezing the hand to either side of you and bringing your hands up to your heart. As you bring your hands up to your heart, you may want to do that physically, not just in the imagination, or you can still be in your imagination. If you do it physically, what happens is you notice a warmth, the warmth coming from your hands, and it transfers to your heart. And it feels as if perhaps some of the blessings from the meditation flow into your heart. May my heart be balanced. May I find peace, stability, and equilibrium. And as you sense the warmth in your heart, and you sense it spreading out through your body, this warm glow, spreading down through your torso, down your legs, down to the soles of your feet, and up towards your head, flowing down your arms, so that your whole being feels warm, and it might even come to you to sense your aura as gold, like this setting sun, beautiful golden color of the setting sun. And as you do this, and as you become aware of your energy field and then your physical body, your awareness of the physical body grows stronger as your awareness of being in the sacred grove begins to fade, and you start to become fully present here and now. And when you feel ready, and only when you feel ready, you stretch your fingers and toes and gently open your eyes. Thank you, Naomi. I love the way some people are so adept at emojis. I always spent ages looking for all these like millions of emojis, but Naomi has put little autumn leaves and an autumn-coloured heart in there. That's so beautiful. The David Jones, the piece that I read was from a piece that I wrote for Time for Magic, which you can find on the Orders bookstore, for instance. It's a collection of the artwork of Jamie Reed, who's a Druid artist who produced very colourful artwork. He died last year, unfortunately, but we had just managed to create this book together with various friends as well. And it celebrates his art, and it celebrates the seasons of the year. And there are pieces like that for all 8 festivals. So it's lovely to see your comments coming in. It's lovely that 2 people have said it's a poem. It was just prose, actually, but that's lovely that you felt it as poetry, which is so nice. So Tracy is saying, how do I find biscuits with a Druid? I can't find it on the hearth. Okay, let me take a moment to explain that, Tracy, and to others as well. So I know not everybody here is a member of the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, and that feels good. It's lovely that Tea with a Druid is open to everybody, and it goes out on 2 YouTube channels and 2 Facebook channels of the Order and my own channels, and that's lovely. And there's between 250 and sort of 400 people live watch it, probably more actually, because there are 4 channels, say 500, I don't know. Well, no, actually, no, I think that aggregates them all. So about that, 250 to 400. And then they get seen by maybe up to 4,000 people over the coming weeks. So it's a lovely way of reaching lots of people. And then a certain amount of people will be members of the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. And one of the benefits of membership of the Order is you have access to something called the Druid Hearth. And the Druid Hearth is an extraordinary place that we've taken 2 years to create, working with a software developer from Kiev. We've created this lovely place where, if you can imagine, everything is there. So all 6 language editions of the Order's magazines, Touchstone and the Dutch, all the different editions are there, and their back issues as well. So there's a huge archive of all those. We have live streamed workshops. We have a social media feed, which is like Facebook, but with the huge advantage of not being Facebook. In other words, not having advertising, not having data mining, as it's called, because of course, although Facebook is free, we're actually all paying for it by having our personal information taken by it, without having that strange thing of trolling and so on. It's a wonderful safe space, and you can build up your connections and friendships and communicate and direct message. And then there are also special interest groups. There are 100 special interest groups, which range from absolutely everything from mythology to the seasonal festivals to cooking and all sorts of things. People, if you have we have a mental health professionals group which has about 400 members in it, and within those groups you have meetings, regular meetings and Zooms and so on. And there's lots of other stuff as well. There's so many things I can't remember them. Lots of features all in there, the events pages, and because you can live stream in there, what I do and what Ema does with her fireside chats that she does on Thursdays is, after we've done the public broadcast, we go into this more private space. So, and that's what Tracy was referring to. And so jokingly, I call it Biscuits with Druids. And it's where we continue to chat, and there can be more participation because it's a smaller group, sort of about 30 or 40 of us instead of hundreds of us. The way to find it, Tracy, is if you're a member. If you're not a member and it interests you, Google the Druid Hearth, and we've got a whole page on our website that explains it all and everything. If you are a member and you can get in, there are two ways you can find it. One is to scroll down on the left-hand side and you will see a little orange or yellow banner that says live streaming. And you click on that and you'll go onto the live stream page. Or you go up the top, on the top menu bar, you see a little old-fashioned logo of a TV, a little TV with a little aerial sticking up above it. And you click on that, and that takes you into an area that has 3 menu tabs along the top. And one of the menu tabs says Live TV. And you click on the Live TV, and you go straight into the live stream. And if you're going to a workshop, you watch that. But if you're going into Biscuits with Druids, it's there. So that's how you get to it. So thank you very much. Bless you all. I'm now going to go into the live stream of Biscuits with Druids, and I'll see some of you in there. So I hope you have had a very peaceful equinox, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Much love, many blessings. Bye.